How the hell did you turn into this? That's the question burning in their throats, but none of them can say it out loud because if they do, they admit they never saw you coming. You went from overlooked to unforgettable, from underestimated to undeniable. One day, you were quiet, trying to fit in. The next, you were the chaos they couldn't contain. You didn't just change, you detonated. And now people don't know if you're the lesson, the punishment, or the prophecy. They look at you like you broke every rule in the book and then rewrote the book with your own handwriting. You don't glow up like this by accident. You don't carry this kind of energy by chance. This isn't a makeover. This isn't a rebrand. This is what happens when pain becomes fuel, when silence becomes strategy, when madness becomes power. So when they ask, how the hell did you become this? The real answer is simple. You stopped asking for permission. They remember the old you, the quiet one, the soft one, the one who laughed it off, stayed in the background, let disrespect slide because maybe they didn't mean it. That version of you lowered their head, swallowed the pain, and kept moving. Easy to ignore, easy to underestimate, but that version is gone, buried, replaced. Now, when you walk in, the air changes, conversations cut short, eyes dart, hearts race, because you're not the same person they once knew. You're the storm they never prepared for. The old you asked, why me? The new you says, try me. The old you wanted peace at any cost. The new you is the cost of disturbing peace. The old you broke in silence. The new you laughs in chaos. They can't process it. To them, it looks like madness. To you, it feels like freedom. You didn't flip a switch. You burned the switchboard and built a new system. And now every room knows the truth. You didn't evolve. You erupted. You're not predictable anymore. You're chaos wrapped in calm, the kind that makes people second guess every move around you. One minute you're sipping tea like life's a joke. The next you're dropping truth so sharp it slices egos clean in half with a smile that says, I meant every word. They can't box you in. They can't label you. You're not mysterious. You're unclassified. A walking paradox. Funny but dangerous. Calm but explosive. Elegant but absolutely unhinged when it counts. You're what happens when pain doesn't make you bitter. It makes you unpredictable. And that's the scariest part. They don't know what version of you they'll get. Will you laugh it off, or will you dismantle their whole identity with one line? That's why their nerves spike every time you enter the room, because you're not playing roles anymore. You're the glitch in the script, the plot twist. Nobody survives. Madness to them, freedom to you. The haters don't clap back anymore. They flinch, they whisper, they hide behind vague posts and nervous laughter because facing you head on feels like standing in traffic. They used to mock you, laugh at you, underestimate you. Now they study you like a prophecy they're too afraid to interpret. They refresh your page, hoping to find cracks. They listen for slips in your voice, waiting for proof that you're human again. But all they find is strength wrapped in sarcasm, calm laced with chaos. And it terrifies them. They thought they'd get to witness a breakdown. Instead, they got a spectacle. They thought you'd beg for closure. Instead, you turned silence into power. They thought you'd fade out quietly. Instead, you became the show they can't look away from. And the best part, you don't explain. You let them wonder. You let them spiral, because their confusion is your crown and their silence is your standing ovation. You didn't become this overnight. No, you were forged in heartbreak, betrayal, and nights where sleep never came. Every fake smile, every whispered lie, every knife in the back was fuel. They thought those moments would break you. They didn't know they were building you. There was a moment, the exact second you snapped out of nice mode. The day you said, "I'm done playing small." That's when the polite version of you died. That's when the storm was born. You didn't go crazy. You woke up. You saw the snakes for what they were. You saw the system for the trap it was. And instead of crying, you laughed. Loud, dangerous, unbothered. That's the shift they'll never understand. You didn't just heal, you weaponized your scars. You didn't just move on, you evolved into something untouchable. And from that point forward, it was over. Not for you, for them. Now you don't just enter a room, you disrupt it. The air shifts, the energy flips, and suddenly everyone's posture changes like they're bracing for impact. You don't have to speak. Your silence alone is a headline. Your smirk is a press release. People study you like you're a glitch in their safe little simulation. They scroll your life like it's a thriller series, waiting for the next plot twist. Strangers whisper, "How did they become this?" while enemies avoid eye contact, afraid you'll make them your next punchline. You're not surviving anymore. You're performing. You turned chaos into choreography. Every move is deliberate. Every word lands like a script written for maximum impact. And the crowd, they're hooked because you're not a face in the audience. You're the spectacle, the headliner, the storm dressed in calm, unpredictable brilliance. And no matter how hard they try, nobody can look away. Here's the truth they choke on. Your chaos is calculated. They mistake your unpredictability for recklessness, but every move you make is surgical. One eyebrow raised and suddenly they're apologizing for things they haven't even done. One calm silence and the whole room unravels. You don't argue anymore. You monologue. You don't fight. You expose, and the way you do it, smooth, precise, terrifying. You dismantle egos with jokes so sharp they don't even realize they've been cut until the laughter stops stinging. That's the power. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need to swing to make damage. You exist, and suddenly their confidence collapses. Your chaos became your crown. Your unpredictability became your armor. They thought you were fragile. They thought you were breakable. But now they see it clear. You're not out of control. You are control. The storm that laughs while it rains. You're not just a person anymore. You're a cautionary tale with skin on, a walking warning label that says, handle with extreme care may cause nervous breakdowns. They wanted to box you in, call you crazy, slap a label on you and move on. But baby, you became the box, the label, and the delivery all at once. Now, people who used to laugh at you, double check their energy before they even breathe near you. Ex-friends act like fans. Haters stay silent, terrified. Your silence means you're plotting. They don't know if you're a villain, a hero, or both. All they know is you're dangerous, and worse, you're funny while being dangerous. You became the karmic invoice with interest. The storm they pray never shows up at their door. The proof that breaking someone quiet doesn't create weakness, it creates a reckoning. And now you're the lesson stamped across their nightmares. Don't mess with the wrong one. So how the hell did you turn into this? Simple. You stopped shrinking. You stopped apologizing. You stopped begging for approval. And in that silence, in that madness they laughed at, you found power. They wanted a breakdown. You gave them a rebirth. They wanted you erased. You became permanent ink. They wanted you quiet. You turned your silence into thunder. And now every step you take feels like a public service announcement. This is what happens when you try to break the wrong soul. You're not just back. You're bigger, louder, sharper. You didn't come for revenge. You came for evolution. And that's why the haters can't speak. Because what's standing in front of them isn't the person they doubted. It's the version they swore would never exist. And the craziest part, you're only getting started. Curtains up, spotlight on. Let the world keep asking, how the hell did you turn into this? While you laugh, because the answer is everything they fear. You stopped breaking and you started building.